What is up, guys? It is your boy, MaineMania, and welcome back to another episode of MK Mobile. Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. I know you guys have been waiting. I know. But it's finally here. Let's talk about the KRYPT update. Update 5.0. Now, first things first. I think this update has been phenomenal. I know a lot of you guys want to know what I think. I think this update's been phenomenal. I think they've done a great job with everything that they've done with this update thus far. There aren't too many downsides, so let's talk about those first, and then we'll talk about, the good things as we play around in the KRYPT, right? The downsides, as far as what I've noticed so far, is that the game runs slower. Have you guys noticed that? It's not just me. I know it's not just me.
Hey, listen!
The game feels slower. And I think I know why. There was a, not necessarily bug or glitch. It's kind of the way the match was intended. But especially with modifiers like berserkers, where they get insane power generation, there was basically a glitch in which you would basically become infinitely stun locked by characters with fast special ones like Combat Cup Johnny Cage and Classic Rain. There's a couple of other characters that could have done it to you as well, but those were probably the top two culprits where you were locked in animations, you were helpless, and with their power gen, they were just special one after special one, and you're stuck until you're dead. And I think the way they actually fixed that was they slowed the game down, so that even in that mode, you still have frames to react. I don't know if that was the right way to fix it, but I have noticed that the game feels a lot slower. Let me know if you guys feel the same way, or if maybe it's in my head. I know for a fact that most of the characters I've been playing, I've noticed that their attacks feel slower, especially like Assassin Katana, and you guys know that's my favorite character in the game. So just wanted to know if you guys noticed that as well. Secondly, the KRYPT update makes the game crash much more frequently than it did before in update 4.0 and the 4.0 updates in series. I don't know if this is an intended thing. I don't know if the game has become much more processor, heavy. Like, I can't really explain it, but I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed my phone runs significantly hotter with this new update. So whatever the coding is, it's causing my phone to run hotter. It's a lot more taxing on my processor and my, the chip in my phone, the graphics imaging and all that stuff. It's definitely a lot more intensive on my internals, and it's causing the phone to overheat, and it's causing the game to crash a lot more than it did before. When I say a lot more, it is a lot more, especially when you're like in a long KRYPT run, or you try to do 2 KRYPT runs back to back. Come back, please. Thank you. So yeah, that's something that I've noticed, and I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that either. And I don't know if that's something that can be fixed in a bug patch or an update, or if that's just the result of them adding a new mode and now the game being bigger and being more intensive on your, on your processor inside the phone, that kind of thing. So just something to note. Once again, not make or break, but those are a couple things that I noticed. Is gameplay wise, a couple things that I've noticed is Cabal and his broken tag in free fatal blow is basically undodgeable now. Has anybody else noticed this? It's basically undodgeable now. You may be lucky based on how you get that kill. You may have a frame or two to block it, but they made Cabal tag in much faster. And depending on if you use the special or an animation or a combo ender to get the kill, you can't dodge his fatal blow. So that's going to be an absolute living nightmare in Survivor. absolute living nightmare. And I mean, I've seen it left and right, but they got to do something about that. Like, that is a big deal. I say it's a big deal because there's a lot of people that struggle to even make it through Elder runs in Survivor, and just to get wiped by a Cabal for getting a kill because you just have no counterplay to it, it's not fair. The counterplay should be, as soon as you get that kill, you make sure you're holding block right away. That should not be unblockable, and it should not be uncounterable. Like, there needs to be counterplay. If you guys know anything about my philosophy with game design, like, I don't like oppressive things in games. I like if there's fair counterplay. If something's going to be strong, there needs to be fair counterplay to it. I think that's just game design 101. And Cabal's run-in free fatal blow now it's a run breaker. You know, I feel for the newer players and even some of the intermediate players that may only be able to do 1 or 2 Elder runs per season in Survivor. Now you see a Cabal, you don't have a choice but to dodge. Because as soon as you get that kill, if you don't kill him first, you're eating that X-ray. You're eating that fatal blow, and most likely you're not going to survive it. So, I don't think that's fair. I think they need to look at that, and hopefully they'll address that in the next patch. As I mentioned before, another thing is the game does feel a little bit slow. Not a big fan of that, but you know, maybe that was their intention to make it that way. We're gonna mostly run these battles in auto, and we are on the final floor of a run. We'll see what we can get as far as hearts, and you know, we'll try to make some moves. So here we go. I've mostly just been playing everything in auto. I only do the boss fights manually. And I do a selective auto, so I still tag in and tag out and run my specials because I've been trying to protect my Sonias. One thing I have noticed, and I've talked about it, you know, in Discord for the channel members that are a part of my Discord squad, but I don't know if this was intentional. I don't know if they ever announced it or said anything about it, but the modifiers, is that what you want to call it? No, the hearts bonus is capped at 2. So you don't use more than 1 Sonya, who was the, you know, the max bonus character this season. Don't use more than 1. Just use 1 of her and then 2 of the other characters that are 1.2. For whatever reason, I mean, I did a few runs with 3 Sonyas and noticed that you're only getting double hearts. You're not getting more than that. So maybe that's the hard cap and they just never announced it. But if you did not know already, save your hearts. Don't waste them. I know I made that mistake, and a lot of people are going to make that mistake. So yeah, guys, other than that, you know, I think the KRYPT is a pretty cool mode. In regards to team builds and equipment pieces and stuff like that, I really enjoy the fact that equipment you use does not get locked per run, per day. I do feel, I hate to even mention it, I do feel like they may change that in the future. Let's hope not, but I appreciate the fact that your equipment doesn't get locked after you complete a run, or, you know, that kind of thing, similar to how it is in Survivor. And I like that it's different than Survivor. I like that their game modes have different rules, because that is what it should be. It should be different game modes with different rules, and you kind of, you know, do what you need to do. So I can appreciate that a lot. I think the KRYPT is a phenomenal update. You know, it is an update that actually rewards your effort in the game. Like, it tells you what you can get, and it basically also tells you how much you need to grind in order to get that thing. You also have the ability to get more through the use of keys, which you can earn by saving hearts into another KRYPT season or by purchasing them. I don't like that KRYPT that keys apparently seem to be locked behind a paywall, but technically, if you know, if you really want to stack your keys, what you can do is grind as much free runs as you can, and if that season has a low amount of things you want as far as characters and equipment, then you just let those roll over. In the first KRYPT, I should say, the very first KRYPT, the first KRYPT season, it was 2,000 hearts per key. By the animation, it looked like it was going to be 5,000 hearts per key, But 2,000 hearts per key seems way more fair. So instead of getting that 10,000 heart character diamond in the store, if you don't need that 10,000 heart diamond, what you do instead is you make that 5 keys. Now you'll have 5 extra runs for the next season of the crypt, and you can kind of go from there. On the 4th floor, you need to be careful not to accidentally hover over the boss fight. I did that in my very first run of the crypt, which I was gonna record for you guys, but you know, it's been really difficult for me lately, guys. I don't like to talk about, you know, my personal issues and what's going on in my life in content, just for the fact that I don't want to bring down the tone of the episodes. But right now I have to move, and I don't have a lot of time to do that. So I don't know if I'm gonna end up having to take a break from content for an extended period of time. I'm hoping not. You see what I mean about that run-in? That would have been an X-ray if that was a Black Dragon character that had gotten knocked out. That would have been an X-ray, and there was nothing I can do about it. You see what I'm talking about? Not a fan of that. It is not freaking fair. But yeah, guys, unfortunately, and that's the boss fight right there. So you want to make sure we do not go up and end the 4th round early. So now that we know where he is, we don't have to be as careful. We can kind of just skirt around it and make sure we don't end up triggering that boss fight earlier, because once you trigger it, I do not believe you can go back. Like I said, I made that mistake in my first round. But yeah, I'm kind of in a rough spot right now. Kind of got the note that I'm gonna need to find a new place to live, and I don't have a lot of time to do that. So I've been aggressively looking for a new place to live. I don't know how many episodes I'll be able to record for you for the time being. I mean, I'm gonna do my best to get, you know, a few episodes recorded and start a new backlog. You know, I pretty much edited all of the episodes that I had for you guys, so now we're kind of up to date. And now, you know, the episodes that I record are probably going to be recorded, you know, a day or two before the actual date that they're published on YouTube. But now I feel like I do need to create a backlog. Maybe I do need to do a mass recording, maybe 1 or 2 series I can just kind of binge through if my computer can handle it, and just kind of hold that so that maybe I can get some editing done while I'm in the moving process, because I don't know when everything's gonna work. I don't know how everything's gonna work. I don't know, you know, if I don't know if I'm gonna be able to record for you guys and set up my new computer and all that stuff. Like I'm not really sure when that's gonna be, like when I can get my computer and all my equipment to wherever I end up moving, because most likely, based on the time frame that I have, I may have to just move into a temporary situation. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. You know, like I said, I don't want to bring the tone down too much or whatever, but it is my reality at the end of the day. So hopefully it's nothing that you know, takes me too long, but I've been looking every day and working with it, and I'm trying to see if my company can help me a little bit, as far as maybe even just finding a place, or you know, giving me some kind of assistance with, you know, moving companies and things of that nature, paying for my internet, you know, little things like that. I don't really know what my company is going to be willing to do. I know that they're very supportive when it comes to things like this, so I'm just exploring all my avenues right now so that, you know, it doesn't set me back too much. Moving is hard. It's hard, and it's emotionally draining. That's something I talked about in you know, my playthrough of The Last of Us 2, but there's just something about seeing, you know, an empty room and boxes, you know, just something, there's something about seeing an empty home. I'll never forget when I moved out of my first house, man. It was, there's no other way to describe it. It was so freaking depressing, you know. It was so depressing. There's just something about it, you know. I don't know if it's the finality of it or the perceived finality of it, but there's just an empty feeling that you feel when you see so much of your belongings and of your life in boxes, you know. So I'm already starting to feel that, because I've already started to pack some. And I'm already starting to feel like those motions as far as just how it feels in that process, you know what I mean? Like all of that stuff. Oh god, these guys are gonna resurrect 100 times. Who's got the Shintai? You're coming in next. No more resurrections. Oh, you little shit, you tagged out, mate. Well, she's gonna get a res now. Because homeboy over there already tagged out. Get out. Alright, so yeah guys, like I said, moving through that right now, trying to get that situated, but you know, there are some exciting things. One of them being that I did get a new mic arm to complement my new mic. Positionally, it puts my audio in a better focal point so that it'll hopefully sound cleaner and crisper for you guys with the new type of microphone that I have. You're not supposed to talk too far away from your microphone, so I don't know if you guys have noticed from my content just yet, but I'm a very big fan of not seeing microphones in captures. I can't explain it. I hate it. I like, you know, I like giving the viewers more of the game, more of the background, more of the action versus like a big box in a border. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just not my style, is all I'm trying to say. So, yeah, trying that out. Also, I did bring my camera down. In the past, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I had my camera sitting on this line right here. And the reason I did that was so that you guys can see the faded outline of where my power was right here. I don't know if you guys noticed it. I mean, some viewers may have noticed it and appreciated that little thing that I used to do for you guys, which I can easily still go back to. I mean, I still have it saved that way, just in case I decide to go back. But I do want to edit a few episodes like this and just kind of see which I like better. So I would like some of your feedback on that, guys. Do you like my camera better here, or do you like it better up some more so you can see the blurred reflection of where my power is? The reason I decided to change it overall was because, you know, if you really want to see my power, you can see it up there. You know, you can see how much power my character has. Hello. What happened to my audio just now? Did you guys notice the audio just go significantly lower? Not sure what happened there, but let's hope that that corrected itself. But yeah, guys, nonetheless, like I was saying, let me know in the comment section below where you like my camera more. I decided to just give this a shot because I don't think a lot of people really paid attention to the reflection here, where you can see my power as I, you know, get another bar of power. And once again, you can see it up there already. So the whole purpose of me doing that was so that you guys can see where my power is, but you can already see it up there when I get a new bar. So it was a neat little touch, but I don't really know if it's as necessary as it is as more updates have given, you know, more visibility for where things are in the match. So let me know what you prefer. I can easily change it back, you know. Just gonna observe feedback for a couple of episodes, and we'll go from there. But I really do feel good about this new mic setup because once again, you know, my audio has been a nightmare for me. It's made editing episodes take maybe 3 to 4 times longer than they honestly needed to be taking, and that is not fun to deal with when you're literally editing on your lunch break. I mean, for those of you guys who haven't known, like, I've been editing on my lunch break for at least the past year and a half now. You know, all the episodes that you guys see, I'm literally like, every now and then, like, we'll get a conference call and I can kind of try to get some editing done because I won't have to participate too much in it because it's just more of a listening call about updates and stuff like that, so I can kind of half listen, half edit. But outside of that, guys, like, it has been very difficult to maintain that. And I had to pay so much more attention to the audio with my previous mic because it just picks up way too much of my really loud, really old computer that is undoubtedly failing on me, but it's holding up for the time being. So, you know, I will need to get a new computer sooner than later, but as you guys can see, I've got enough on my plate and to be worrying about when I can replace this computer. This computer is going to have to do for as long as it can. You know, it's going to have to shit the bed on me at this point, because there's no way I can afford a new computer anytime soon. Just one of those things, man. But nonetheless, guys, this is the KRYPT, man. You know, like I said, it's a pretty awesome game mode. I think we're almost done with this 4th floor here. You guys can kind of see how I'm making my way through it. Like I said, I'm mostly playing auto. A lot of my characters mostly have critical hit chance equipment, in addition to healing equipment. This team doesn't need it because of the amazing Day of the Dead Katana, my second favorite character in the game. She absolutely melts, but in addition to that, Ravenous has a devastating tag in, extremely strong attacks. She does have a glass jaw. You wouldn't think so, but she does have an absolute glass jaw. But as you can see, I have a lot of protection equipment. You know, we've got some varmints in there. We've got the Widowmaker, obviously, for the luck and the damage. We've got free heals through Day of the Dead Katana, but we also have heals on special too through the Dynasty Parade uniform and through the Viper hood. So, you know, I think it's all about heals and sustainability. Damage and heals, those are the two things I pretty much build most of my characters with. So critical hit damage and heals. I think we've hit everything in this web. Have we missed anything? Nope. So it's time to head on over to the boss, guys. And this is just one floor. I figured let me do the last floor. You know, I'm just going to double check really quickly, go right back around. This is another quality of life update that they can have. I would prefer, if I change the zoom to like whatever I prefer, I want it to stay that way for the rest of the run. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that it defaults back to that extra zoomed in thing, because on the 4th floor especially, sometimes you won't see that it's the final boss fight, and if you click it early, you miss out on everything on this floor. You know what I mean? Like, you miss out on everything that's on the floor, so that does not feel good. I remember the first time it happened to me, I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Like, it was like literally like the 6th or 7th move I had made on that final floor, and I basically missed out on everything, so I wasn't a big fan of that. Let me get out of auto since this is the final fight. We're gonna tag out for right now. We will tag back though. We're gonna let Day of the Dead do her thing, because, you know, a lot of people don't understand Day of the Dead Katana is she's a force. She is not to be trifled with. She will get that kill. I was literally holding block, you little shit. My goal right there was to make sure. Look at that damage, guys. That was the final boss. That being said, I probably shouldn't say this, but it is true. I do think the KRYPT is too easy. I don't like making comments like that because I always try to think of all players. I always try to think of the newer players that may struggle. I always try to think of intermediate players that may only have certain characters that they can make complete runs with. And as you know, there's different characters every season that are giving you the bonuses. So some people may not have the options that I would have, especially on the equipment side as well, which makes a monumental difference in being able to speed your way through these battles. But for a veteran, it does feel like it's a little bit too easy. I do think they're going to ramp up the difficulty in the future. Let's hope not too much, just for the rest of the player base. But I know I can speak for the veterans and myself when I say, you know, the battles feel a little bit too easy. Phenomenal game mode. Like I said, so many great things can be said about the KRYPT. They really did a great job on this rollout. I'm pretty happy about it. And here's our haul. This is going to be our final haul for this first run. So pretty solid, you know, pretty happy with that as it is. But you know, like I said, man, it's pretty cool right now. I think the KRYPT is in a really solid spot, and of course some tweaks can come to make it better, but as it is right now, I think it's in a good place. I think it's in a good place. There does need to be some, small tweaks as far as some of the downsides that came with this update, mainly the speed of the game, the tag-ins and the changes to tag-ins. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but there's several times that I tag in with Ravenous Melina and characters that are supposed to have tag-ins where there is no tag-in. They just jump in the match normally. I'm not a fan when that happens. Like, when I tag in with Classic Raiden and Ravenous Melina, I want to see their tag-in attack every single time. No excuses. I want to see their tag and attack every single time. I don't know why that is. I think it has to do with the animation of the enemy, and the timing of when you attempt to tag in. But there's so many times where you just completely lose that tag and attack. And tag and attacks are a big part of somebody's kit. A lot of people may not look at it that way, but it really is. Tag and attacks can be really strong. They are a big part of somebody's kit. So when you lose that completely, you're losing a part of your arsenal and your game plan with that character. There's characters that you build out their equipment based on that tag and attack and what it's going to create and the follow-up combos that it can potentially create for you. So hopefully they kind of iron that out and square that away. I'm not really sure what the deal is there, but I've noticed that for quite a while now. But great mode. I love that the characters are rotating. One thing I would like to see, the KRYPT stores right now are different between the Android store and the iOS device stores. Let's not create more differences between Android and iOS. And if for whatever stupid reason the devs want to make a different store for Android and iOS, at least let them alternate, right? Let's bring Android and iOS people together. I'm an Android person myself, but I know there's a lot of people that play on iOS as well. But let's bring them together. Let's not create more division. So if the Android store has X this week and the iOS store has Y this week, let's just swap the characters in each store for the other platform the following season. Do you know what I'm saying? That way you can kind of tell your friends that play on a different platform, hey, next season you guys are going to get Edenian Blood Katana. Hey, next season you guys are going to get, Classic Shang Tsung. Hey, next season you guys are going to get, Lizard Jade. That way they can kind of spread it to each other and, you'll know what's coming for their following season until it's that new season for both of them. I think that would be a much more interesting model. I don't like the idea of separating the stores. I do know that their servers are different, but I don't like the idea of splitting the player base like that. It causes unnecessary dissent and tension when it already, tense rivalry between the two. That whole blue bubble, green bubble nonsense that's been going on for years, guys, it's so childish and immature. But I don't think the devs should be playing into it is all I'm saying there. So lots of good things to say about the KRYPT, as I, pretty much just said. But I am excited that there's a new game mode and that, a lot of players are happy with it. It gives us the ability to decide how much we want to grind and reward ourselves for our efforts. This game has been missing that for a while. Everything has been locked behind chance. And finally, there's a game mode that doesn't revolve around chance. It revolves around your effort. And you decide what you want to reward yourself with. And I think that is a great direction for this game. So kudos to the devs for that and for opening up their eyes to that and giving us the ability for these things. Like even the fact that we had the ability to get classic movie Sonya day one without spending real money. That's a phenomenal thing, guys. That pack, the parental pack that came out, that gave us the opportunity to get Sonya day one. Like that is phenomenal, guys. That's the kind of thing that makes players happy, and the devs need to do more of that. So a kudos to them for doing it, and hopefully there's plenty more of that to come. Like I said, this is a very positive direction for the game, and I think we need to give them their flowers when they're deserved. Sure, there can still be some changes. Sure, there's still some things that need to be addressed, but for the most part, this is a very positive direction for the game, and it's a nice facelift from the development habits of the past. So I do look forward to seeing what else comes from this. What's next? What's going to be in the next bug patch update? I do believe the Edenian Tower is coming back next as well, another rerun tower, which I'm not against, but I do not think when they reintroduce rerun towers, I do not think they should run for more than 1 month. You know, if they keep them to a month or under for a rerun tower, we can potentially get 12 towers a year. Do you know what I'm saying? But the fact that these towers are running for 45 days, you know, 60 days, etc., we only get, you know, 6-7 towers a year. It would be nicer if we can get more towers and more variety as well. And like I said, you know, my idea of the past is bring 2 separate towers, run them side by side, 1 normal, 1 fatal. So maybe you bring back the Tower of Horror and it's got 1 difficulty to it, and you bring the Nightmare Tower or the Shirai Ryu Tower, and you make that the fatal, you make that the normal. Keep doing that and you'll be able to get more towers into the mix, more packs that you can sell simultaneously, and it's going to be more engaging and more exciting for the player base because they're not just playing the same types of modifiers, the same type of everything. They kind of have to switch it up as they switch back and forth between the towers and Survivor and now the Crypt. So it gives a lot more variety to the player base, and that's, you know, something I hope the devs will take into account. I do absolutely love that when the parental pack came back, they gave us 50 packs to open. I definitely think 20 to 50 is a huge improvement, and let's hope 50 is the new minimum for packs going forwards. I doubt it, but if you are able to open 50 packs, I don't think anybody can complain with opening 50 packs for these special themed packs or specially timed packs when they come out. I think that's a huge step in the right direction as well. Like I said, there's a lot of positive things to come from this and only a few, you know, areas for improvement. But we have to be thankful that we see these positive strides, and let's continue to hope for some more. So on that note, guys, y'all know the deal. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you guys leave a like to show your boys some love. If you want to show extra love, you can do so with the join button or the thanks button. Subscribe if you're new to become one of the maniacs. Don't forget, you can use the join button to hang out with us in Discord. I'll stream and show some extra support to the channel. Plenty more MK Mobile content to come. Let me know what your favorite part of the crypt is, and let me know if you guys were able to run the gauntlet and clear everything out in the crypt. I'm gonna try, but I'm close. I'm close. I'm on my way, and I'm gonna try. We just gotta get Day of the Dead and Classic Shang. We need 17,000 hearts, and we're gonna get 2 free runs tomorrow. We're averaging 2,000 hearts per run, so that's gonna be 4,000 on top of what I have right now. So I'll be at 78. So I need to do about 5 extra runs. I need to use at least 5 keys in order to run the gauntlet for this week's crypt. I'm gonna buy Day of the Dead Jade last for the simple fact that she is a Fusion 9 character, and she is a diamond, so she will automatically be a reward, potential reward for my normal 200s and, you know, fatal 200s as well. So I would like to max her out, but I'm gonna run her last. If I do max her out, she'll be the last thing I get, because I don't want to increase my odds of getting sellbacks. And it's sad that you have to play this game this way, but that's kind of the way you have to play this game. So let me know how you guys have been doing with your rewards in this tower, and if you guys have been able to run the gauntlet. I honestly haven't had the time to get the runs in, but I had a day off due to me having to look for a new place to stay. And in between, you know, searching websites and calling people up for ads and trying to get places to go look at, I just kept doing a run in between every little break that I took. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think. Exciting stuff coming to this game, and let's hope more of that continues. Y'all know the deal, man. Like the video, show some love, show some extra love if you can, and I will see you guys next time with MaineMania.